Alright, so here's the cylinder block, and if you take a look at the top piston here, got a nice score right in the piston. Part of this ring's missing, and this one is that score went right through there, the lower piston too, and it's kind of seized in there. Next two pistons have no big scores or anything on them. They got both their rings. And then you look at this the bottom cylinder's piston here, and you can see that there was no ring. Actually, there is a part of the one ring that was in there, but it's not a full ring even. What the other one was completely missing. Explains why there was hardly any compression, of course, in that cylinder. The cylinders themselves actually aren't scored like that, though. There is a slight one, of course, on this here, right here. So, all right, hey, George here. So this is my Force 125 horse outboard, and I have just received it back from the machine shop, and all these cylinders are freshly bored out, not sleeved. They were able to bore them, and I've received new pistons and rings, and so now I'm going to, of course, put the whole thing back together again. Here's the piston, and then the pin is right here that I pressed out, and I basically did that by just taking this 7/16 long socket in a vise on one side, and then this one in the vise on the other side, a larger one, whatever, just that it'll fit in, and basically squished here and here between the vise and the big vise, pressed it. I must confess that first use a smaller vise, and I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't that vise wasn't strong enough, and I cracked the vise. But a big solid vise, if you don't have one of your friends should, and that worked wonders. They came out just fine, and I was able to get the connecting rods again. That's all I needed from these ruined pistons. So now I got the connecting rod and ready to put into the new ones. Also, I noticed in the ports, here's the exhaust ports, and then the where the fuel comes, ports for the fuel mixture comes in here. They had done some, I think it's called chambering, where they just take a bit of the burr off, so it's not just a sharp edge. And one of my mechanic friends, Paul, is saying, you want to make sure there's a pretty good curve there. What's that? Because you don't want the piston ring, the new ring, to catch on there, and it'll just break it again. So what I did for that was I just took basically my Dremel tool here and put the round attachment on, and just turned it on, and then just very carefully worked my way around here and made a nice little edge there, just that took the edge off and just kind of subtly rounded it all the way around so it wouldn't catch the new rings when they go in there on each of the pistons. Okay, so this is how we're putting the pin bearings in to the connecting rod. This is just our little process here. Slide, and then I'm using the piston pin here to hold it in place with one of these underneath it. I don't even know what to call them. They're spacers basically on either side that will be inside. There it is. It's all in.
All in. There you go.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to carefully slide this out. The oil is what's holding them in place. And Randy, you're going to take this and slide it in the bottom. I can look down this hole basically and center it over there. And then I'm going to cheat by taking this 7/16 socket and sliding it down in between here to keep those from collapsing as we... There we go. Now Randy can just push up against that without the bearings falling out. And there it is. Now we just have to... That allowed us to get those without collapsing the bearings. Now drop it down there. And I'm going to slide this spacer. There we go. So push down a little further. Okay, it's all in. And then one other thing we've discovered the way to get these, yeah, see it all is all in there. When you're trying to get this, we started by going this and trying to twist around, and we were in danger of scoring the piston. So we found out the best way to do it is to push both ends in, and probably a lot of people already know that. So let's just put it on the ground here, down here, Randy, so it's secure. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to put these ends in. My hands are very slippery with all this two-stroke oil on that we've lubricated it with. Okay, and now there's that little mark I can push down in. And second. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
in.
snapped in. I heard it
It's
snapped in.
Now, a couple notes, just before I put this in, is before I did this, I marked every connecting rod matched to the original cylinders. This is the top cylinder, and not only that, I also had to take note of which side was on the top. I noted that the top side of the connecting rod had all the writing on it, more of the writing, and so I knew that was the right side. And I've also marked the other side of the bracket of the connecting rod that matches this one, because they all have to go back in with the original bearings. All those I marked into packages over here in this different containers have the different marks. All right, that's good for now. Important to note there on the two strokes, you have a little pin right there, and the ring, see how it's when you slide it over, it fits around that, and then a 180 on the other side. There's the other ring. Again, it's oriented so they sit in that. And now we're gonna, you can go around the other side where we're gonna slide this in. And here's let's actually, yeah, we're gonna get this all covered in some two-stroke oil here. There we go. Just lather it up there. Okay, and it's gonna go the right orientation. Okay, just leave it out a quarter inch here, and I'll get my ring tool. Okay, now I'm just going to tighten that on. You know, one thing I look forward to most is all those comments of people who know more than me saying, "You idiot," on YouTube in their comments. This is how you're supposed to do it and everything, but you can correct me, I don't mind, because then you're going to help other people who watch the video. There it is.
There it
and
goes.
it slides in, and we got all the pistons in. Happy day. I was also careful that we put oil in each of these and cleaned them all out so that they didn't have any debris in them. Alright, you can stop there.